Success is steady progress toward one's personal goals. Jim Rohn. Maturity is the ability to reap without apology and not complain when things don't go well. Failure is not a single, cataclysmic event. You don't fail overnight. Instead, failure is a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. You don't get paid for the hour. You get paid for the value you bring to the hour. Jim Rohn. Give whatever you are doing and whoever you are with a gift of your attention. The major reason for setting a goal is for what it makes of you to accomplish it. What it makes of you will always be the far greater value than what you get. Jim Rohn. The worst thing one can do is not to try, to be aware of what one wants and not give into it, to spend years in silent hurt wondering if something could have materialized, never knowing. A good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well and to help those who are doing well to do even better. Jim Rohn. A good objective of leadership is to help those who are doing poorly to do well and to help those who are doing well to do even better. When you know what you want, and want it bad enough, you will find a way to get it. Make measurable progress in reasonable time. If you go to work on your goals will go to work on you. If you go to work on your plan will go to work on you. Whatever good things we build end up building us. Jim Rohn. Asking is the beginning of receiving. Make sure you don't go to the ocean with a teaspoon. At least take a bucket so the kids won't laugh at you. Don't bring your need to the marketplace, bring your skill. If you don't feel well, tell your doctor, but not the marketplace. If you need money, go to the bank, but not the marketplace. Jim Rohn. Character isn't something you were born with and can't change, like your fingerprints. It's something you weren't born with and must take responsibility for forming. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. The few who do are the envy of the many who only watch. Things that I felt absolutely sure of but a few years ago, I do not believe now. This thought makes me see more clearly how foolish it would be to expect all men to agree with me. Jim Rohn. If someone is going down the wrong road, he doesn't need motivation to speed him up. What he needs is education to turn him around. Part of your heritage in this society is the opportunity to become financially independent. To solve any problem, here are 3 questions to ask yourself. First, what could I do? Second, what could I read? And third, who could I ask? Jim Rohn. Failure is simply a few errors in judgment, repeated every day. Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Labor gives birth to ideas. Jim Rohn. Giving is better than receiving because giving starts the receiving process. The difficulties you meet will resolve themselves as you advance. Proceed, and light will dawn, and shine with increasing clearness on your path. Jim Rohn. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Jim Rohn. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Either you run the day or the day runs you. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future, it is something you design for the present. Jim Rohn. If you are not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. Formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. Whatever good things we build end up building us. We must all suffer one of 2 things: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret or disappointment. Take advantage of every opportunity to practice your communication skills so that when important occasions arise you will have the gift, the style, the sharpness, the clarity and the emotions to affect other people. Jim Rohn. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they have planned for you? Not much. Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines, practiced every day. Time is more value than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. Jim Rohn. You must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. That is something you have charge of. Jim Rohn. It is the set of the sails, not the direction of the wind, that determines which way we will go. You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight. Without a sense of urgency, desire loses its value. Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of health. Learning is the beginning of spirituality. Searching and learning is where the miracle process all begins. Jim Rohn. Let others lead small lives, but not you. Let others argue over small things but not you. Let others cry over small hurts but not you. Let others leave their future in someone else's hands, but not you. The walls we build around us to keep sadness out also keeps out the joy. Jim Rohn. The major value in life is not what you get. The major value in life is what you become. Affirmation without discipline is the beginning of delusion. Jim Rohn. For every disciplined effort there is a multiple reward. Effective communication is 20% what you know and 80% how you feel about what you know. Jim Rohn. Success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying the basic fundamentals. Jim Rohn. Whoever renders service to many puts himself in line for greatness, great wealth, great return, great satisfaction, great reputation, and great joy. The more you know, the less you need to say. Jim Rohn. Success is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. Jim Rohn. Success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. There are only 3 colors, 10 digits, and 7 notes. It's what we do with them that's important. Jim Rohn. Ideas can be life-changing. Sometimes all you need to open the door is just one more good idea. Jim Rohn. Miss a meal if you have to, but don't miss a book. The book you don't read won't help. Some people plant in the spring and leave in the summer. If you're signed up for a season, see it through. You don't have to stay forever, but at least stay until you see it through. It doesn't matter which side of the fence you get off on sometimes. What matters most is getting off. You cannot make progress without making decisions. Jim Rohn. Don't just read the easy stuff. You may be entertained by it, but you will never grow from it. Money is usually attracted, not pursued. Jim Rohn. We get paid for bringing value to the marketplace. Take time to gather up the past so that you will be able to draw from your experience and invest them in the future. Jim Rohn. Better understated than overstated. Let people be surprised that it was more than you promised and easier than you said. Your philosophy determines whether you will go for the disciplines or continue the errors. Jim Rohn. A novel is never anything but a philosophy put into images. Words do 2 major things: they provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness. The reason that fiction is more interesting than any other form of literature, to those who really like to study people, is that in fiction the author can really tell the truth without humiliating himself. Jim Rohn. Self-improvement is a subconscious goal for all, even for those who very rarely acknowledge it and also for those who openly realize it to their conscious mind. The story of Jim Rohn, who was born on September 17, 1930, led an exemplary life as an American who was both an entrepreneur and an author. His highly influential and succoring speeches warmed the hearts of millions and ignited hope in the society. Although he was dirt poor to start with, his relentless efforts and determination achieved him great success and comfort, both monetarily and socially. Rohn spent more than 40 years of his life widening the horizons of possibility with his elegantly artistic and simply ingenious design of ideas, thus assisting many to recognize new and wonderful things relative to the strategies in life. His eloquent speeches and unequivocal intellect in all that which he attempted easily gave way to his fame and glory as one of the most philosophical minds in all of America. The many books he authored as well as audio and video programs that he sponsored have molded the mental capabilities of all those who have had the pleasure, enhancing their belief in their abilities and their ambitions. Everyone who took his advice ended up in a high executive position in a paramount corporation. He also intellectually and inwardly crafted a large number of personal development trainers in order to keep waking people up until he passed away on December 5, 2009. Jim Rohn was raised in a farm in Idaho and had none of the interests of a wealthy family. His mother, Claire, and father, Emanuel, sent him to his local school where he decided the only thing he was gaining was the knowledge of sound convention. His storytelling skills, gifted to him by his father, did not aid much in providing him much initiative on who he intended to be. Throughout his education, he insisted that he was not learning that which he wanted to learn, life. He left college only after a year and settled for a real-life job. However, this left him completely bankrupt and heavily indebted monetarily by the age of 25. By this time, Rohn was not only a husband but also a father and did not have much perspective of what he was going to do next. He was invited to a seminar by Earl Schoaf by a friend while he was still constantly struggling to find ways to provide for his family. From that point onwards began a 5-year-long step-by-step journey for Rohn to find his inner self. Schoaf had personally started coaching Rohn with the fundamental principles of life such as prioritizing personal growth above a mere job, registering philosophy behind income rather than economy, and the most important of all, in order for change to be brought about in life, you must begin with altering your own self. Thus Rohn adapted to his new way of life, the constant path of self-improvement. The realization that he could achieve anything and everything that he desired with the application of the accurate craftsmanship gave him firm ground to stand on. Rohn started off as a mere clerk at a departmental store. However, he mentally acknowledged that something would be better than nothing, and to have some amount of profit would certainly be more appreciable as compared to wages. It seemed that the final stage of Schoeff's life had been decided to serve as a guiding force for Rohn by an entity mightier than all, because before Schoeff died at the age of 49, exactly 5 years after their first meeting, he encouragingly dared Rohn to become a millionaire, and only a year following this, Rohn fulfilled the dream Schoeff had for him. Appallingly remarkable though this journey was, gaining that many riches was only just the beginning of Rohn's legacy. In the 1960s, Rohn migrated to Beverly Hills in California and narrated his expedition in a local Rotary Club meeting. Recall that Rohn had always possessed absorbing storytelling skills, and the tales he told under the title Idaho Farm Boy Makes It to Beverly Hills appeased all those who listened. This gained him invitations to speak at schools, colleges, and even meetings at various services clubs. In 1963, Rohn began speaking on a regular basis, and from there on he slowly became recognized as an international speaker and renowned figure in the Department of Personal Assistance all across the globe. Rohn had the most incidental life ever since he entered the realm of self-improvement.